Hey everybody, what's going on? John here with WikiGameGuides, and this is my guide to all 12 Estus Flask shard locations in Dark Souls 2. First one is in Majula. Just run over to this small well, smack that rock, and up comes the body and the first flask shard. The second Estus Flask shard is in the Cardinal Tower, directly above the Cardinal Tower bonfire where you find that first merchant. Run up these stairs, and you can actually break this door down, which I did not know until recently. I pointed this Estus Flask shard out in my 10 essential starting items video, and I thought you needed the Giant King or the ring for beating the first boss to get this one, but you can just break that door down. And here is the second shard. The third Estus Flask shard is in the mansion in Majula, in the basement, kind of guarded by a little skeleton. But to get into the mansion, you need to get the mansion key from the cartographer, which is also from this bonfire right here. Just follow my path and then exhaust his dialogue options, and then after talking to him enough, eventually he will give you the mansion key. Then just teleport back to Majula and go to the basement, and it is waiting for you. The fourth Estus Flask shard is in the No Man's Wharf, in the unseen path to hide. Make your way around No Man's Wharf eventually till you get this, or eventually you'll find this little switch that rings the bell that brings this large ship over. And after ringing the bell, that'll open up some new pathways for you. So the ship will come, drop down to the base level, immediately underneath that switch that you just flipped. Get all the way down in the door that is kind of closest to where that ship just pulled up. Here we go, this little brown door here. Need a couple enemies in here. Kill them quickly, and in the back left corner is an iron chest with an Estus Flask shard. The fifth Estus Flask shard is near the Exile Holding Cells bonfire in the Lost Bastille. So if you don't have this bonfire unlocked, there's a couple different ways to get it. If you kill the boss that's on that ship that I showed in the last video, it'll eventually take you to this direction of approaching the Lost Bastille. If not, there are other ways to get here. It's just a little bit more roundabout if you go from the pursuer's direction, I guess. Anyway, so you're going to this area that has these large scaffoldings and all these dogs and stuff like that. This is also just around the corner from Macduff's workshop. Anyway, yeah, you can see Macduff's workshop just up there on the right. But you have to unlock this gate, you have to come from this direction, or to unlock that gate outside his workshop. And in this iron chest, in this kind of hidden path, is the fifth shard. Shard number 6 can be found in the mines, also the Earthen Peak area. It's right by the Covetous Demon boss fight, down in like a large poison pool that you will probably most definitely get poisoned as you try to get this one. It's also kind of near the Sunbro Covenant, if you know where that is. So from that bonfire, sprint like you're going to the Covetous Demon Jabba the Hutt boss fight. Make your way through all these urns, and then you're going to drop down to the right as soon as that Earthen Peak sign shows up. You see a little platform kind of in the poison, kind of aim for that, and then that hallway straight ahead. At the very end of the hallway, just on a little body, right there, that is where number 6 is chilling. Shard number 7, you'll recognize this area as probably the first place that you use a fragrant branch of yore. The statue's no longer there, and I survived the ambush. You pull that little switch to slowly open those gates. There's a bonfire on the left right there. It's the old Akalare bonfire. And directly across from that is another cell with an iron chest. And Estus Flask shard number 7. God, that's a tongue twister. Estus Flask shard. Estus Shard Flask number 8 is in Weaponsmith Ornifex's jail cell, so you need to rescue her from the shaded ruins, and you need a fragrant branch of yore for this one. This petrified enemy over here, this is probably like one of the first petrified enemies that you've felt like you wasted when I got this Fang key, I was like, what the hell? It's just an enemy? I thought it was going to be like an NPC, someone that's going to let me buy some items from them or join a new covenant. But nope. Unpetrify this dude and then kill him. And he will drop a key that you need to... Yeah, there we go. The Fang key. You're going to need that key, and just follow my route now. I'm going to drop down and go rescue Weaponsmith Ornifex. She's one of the 2 weaponsmiths that'll craft boss soul weapons for you, but that's not really what this video is about. The jail cell key, or that Fang key, will unlock her jail cell, but in her jail cell is the 8th Estus Flask shard. To clear out all the basilisks, curse frogs, petrified frogs that are down there. And then don't kill her, she's a friendly. And then in her cell is the Estus Flask shard. Shard number 9 is right before the Prowling Magus boss fight, so I'm actually going to backtrack a bit from the Chapel Threshold bonfire. So in this room right here is where the congregation and the Prowling Magus boss fight was. And then just outside the door, or that walkway that that doorway that I just walked through, is where the fog door is to get to that boss fight. But just outside that is this invisible wall. Walk up to it and press A, and you'll get this little hallway, and at the end, there's a body hanging off. Shard number 9, shard number 9. You can find shard number 10 from that same bonfire, actually, at the Chapel Threshold. Just kind of follow my path here. We're going to cross this chasm and start working our way down these cliffs on the left. So just drop down here. Be careful of all the casters throwing crap at you. Take out that spider, drop down 1 level. And then take out this caster that's immediately in front of me. And then drop down 1 more time, and immediately under that caster is going to be a doorway. And inside there, number 10. Shard number 11 can be found near Central Castle Drangleic. Take that bonfire at least. You're gonna make your way past the super long elevator and then up the super long ladder. God, I love fast motion. It takes like 20 seconds to climb up that freaking ladder. Drop down here, just run past all these enemies. You're making your way through this next Great Hall and past the next 2 large mastodons. And then down this slight set of stairs on the right is another slow iron door. And in this iron chest in this room is shard number 11 of 12. And the 12th and final Estus Shard Flask you can find in the Shrine of Amana. Take the Crumbled Ruins bonfire. It's the 2nd bonfire. And the best way to describe how to get this one is just hug the right side. There's going to be a couple enemies along the way. This is a tough one to get, and it's actually kind of easy to die during this one. So look at where you're walking, and you'll see kind of an edge of the cliff under the water that's actually very difficult to see. And if you just follow that cliff edge on the right side, then eventually you might make your way to the 12th Estus Shard Flask. It's so freaking hard to see through the water and see where the edge of that cliff is, so just take your time. Use the ranged weapon to take out all the casters that are along the way. Just keep slowly making your way through here. This is an incredibly difficult area with all the casters, all the ranged people just throwing magic at you. And eventually this giant ogre up here in a second. Ogre Cyclops? Whatever. Yeah, so just keep an eye on that cliff on the right. Just keep it on your right-hand side. That ogre Cyclops will get aggroed here, so kill him. You don't want to be running past any enemies here. It's just so easy to get killed in this section. Just keep hugging the right side. And straight ahead, you're going to see two more casters that you probably hadn't noticed on your first time through. And you'll see the kind of glowing item far off in the distance. Now, at this area right here, the platform actually gets very, very narrow. So really keep a good eye on your footing at this point. This was not my first attempt to get this Estus Shard Flask. Estus Flask Shard. I'm dyslexic or dumb, one of the two. And I keep saying that backwards. Estus Flask Shard, not Shard Flask. So there's only one more caster at the end on the right side. And you're almost there. You can see it. Just be careful which side you walk on these pillars, which side of the pillars you walk on, because it changes from left to right, which side drops off. And there you go, number 12. Congratulations, you got all 12. Thanks for checking out this video. I hope it helped. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more Dark Souls 2 updates. And if you're looking for more help with Dark Souls 2, I have a full walkthrough that I just finished. A lot of tips and tricks videos on things like boss soul weapons and sublime bone dust locations. There's 5 of those if you don't have them all. And other like PvP tips and tricks. Again, thanks for watching. Game on.